All right, everybody, how's it going? It is Tuesday, August 24th, 2021, and of course, we just finished with Week 2 of the NFL preseason, so of course, we're going to get this Week 3 preseason picks video out. Then there's I don't think there's anything next week because it's like a weird week off, and then the regular season starts, so on that following Tuesday, we'll have Week 1 of the regular season out. Pretty excited for that. Can't really wait. So yeah, we did pretty good last week where we went 14-2 on the picks, so that's pretty good. We just kind of do straight up. There's no money line or line picking in here, so it's just if I get the pick right. So just so you're aware of that. We're 23-9 overall on the preseason so far, so hopefully we have another good week. So we'll see how we decide things. You'll see a lot of common themes where I'm expecting a lot of teams to play their starters the whole first quarter, if not the first half. This is sort of traditional in the third preseason game to do that. And I would imagine, since this is the last one, you got to get some starters some looks, at least a little bit. You know what I mean? You would think anyway. We'll start right off with Friday Night Football. It starts off with the Colts and the Lions in Detroit. The Colts open with a 3-point favorite with an over-under of 32.5. All these lines were on FanDuel, by the way. The Colts are 2-0. The Lions are 0-2. If Indy plays their starters for a half, they should probably win this game pretty handily against Detroit. However, I do think later in the game, the Lions could sneak back in. It seems like they've been capable of that. We'll see how it goes. This definitely will be the Lions coming back, the 20-14 score I have. And I can kind of see Indy scoring pretty quick and often early on in the game when they have their starters in. I know they won't have Wentz and everybody back, but we'll see how it goes. They've been pretty capable this preseason so far. So I like the Colts. I think I think they have better starters, better depth. So Detroit has a better quarterback situation right now than them, but other than that, it's Colts all day in that one. Hey, maybe they go 0-3 in the preseason, then 17-0 in the regular season. Let's go. All right. And then, of course, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers going to playing Carolina, playing the Panthers in Carolina. The Pittsburgh has won 3 games because they played the Hall of Fame game. And then the Panthers have lost 2. I have the Steelers winning 27-23. I haven't really liked what I've seen out of the Panthers so far. They've looked okay-ish, but I don't know. From what I've seen in the Steelers, they seem to have a pretty good starting unit, pretty good backup unit, and even a good third string unit if they happen to go that far back into the game. I don't know. I think they seem like a pretty solid team overall. The Panthers may have good starting caliber players, but we'll see how they compare against the Steelers defense if they play some of the starting defenders. That could really really show what we can see out of the Panthers for sure. But as it stands right now, I like the way the Steelers match up with the Panthers. I don't know if the Panthers have the defense either, especially if they decide to play Claypool, Deontay, and Schuster all in the same game. That'd be pretty good. So I don't know. I like the Steelers. The Panthers are the favorites with the 2.5 points and over under at 36.5. So that's interesting. Let's see. We have the Jets and the Eagles playing each other, or the Eagles and the Jets playing each other. That game is in New York or New Jersey, I guess. The Eagles are 0-2 and the Jets are 2-0. They've had a pretty good little preseason. The Jets are 4-point favorites with an over/under of 33.5. I don't know. That was my score before I knew the line, so I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And I think it was 3.5 last night, so it's even kind of cooler that was the score I had. So, I don't know. I don't really have much to say. It seems like the Jets are trying really hard to figure their team out in this preseason. The Eagles don't seem like they're a good team despite trying to be in games. It's kind of hard to pick the Eagles in a game after they just kind of got beat up on by the Patriots like that. So it's I don't know. The Jets have looked pretty decent anyway. I don't know. That game's not going to be very fun. This game might be pretty good, depending on how long Mahomes plays, if he plays, and how long Cousins finally plays, if he's able to go. It's the Vikings playing the Chiefs in Kansas City. Vikings are 0-2. The Chiefs are 2-0. The Chiefs are 4-point favorites with an over/under of 37.5. Like I said, typically a lot of the starters play either a full quarter or a full half in some of these games. And unless there's something announced and I don't know, and I'm not gonna claim I know every team's decisions. So if you know, let me know down in the comments. I'll be like, oh, okay, for sure. That and I'll let you know if that changes my picks as the week goes on. I might do like an addendum video where I'm like, hey, because of like this announcement, that announcement, I'm gonna update my picks a little bit. So we'll see. But right now, as it stands, I'm going with the assumption in this game both teams probably play at least a quarter or a half. Should be a pretty fun little game. I think the Vikings have a pretty underrated defense when they're going to have everyone in there. I think the Chiefs are pretty good as it stands. But I think with Kirk possibly not having played much, or if he has played, I don't really recall if it's been good. Might be a little rusty, so I don't know. Give me the Chiefs. Should be a good game. So that's Friday for you. Let's look at Saturday. Oh, yeah, I don't know about this game. I don't know if anyone's playing their starters. I'm imagining we'll see Aaron for a little bit, maybe a quarter, and the same with Allen and the Bills. But they seem to be very comfortable with not playing their starters in the preseason. The Bills are 8-point favorites as it sits, with an over-under of 34.5. And I think it was at like 7.5 last night when I initially made the PowerPoints. And then I go through before I do this and try to update them. So I have the Bills winning 27-14. I think like Mitchell's pretty good. He knows how to play Green Bay. He's seen Green Bay before. I don't know if Mitchell, when the backups come in, I don't know how well Mitchell knows the backups, but he should know the system he's playing in. I don't know if the backups are ready for Mitch. So I don't know. Seems like they're thinking this game might be close like early on, and then like the Bills take it later on when the backups come in the second half. And yeah, that's probably when this game would flip right over to the Bills' favor, and that's probably the big line. And yeah, because I don't know if you noticed, the Bills Mitch has been pretty good this in this preseason playing against backups. So if they do that this game, then yeah, Bills should win. 6 o'clock. This should be a pretty good game. I don't know. I think the football team keeps it real close. The football team's playing host to the Ravens, kind of like an in-state rivalry type game. Ravens are 4-point favorites with an over-under of 31.5. I've always kind of had it as a very good low-scoring game. I don't know. I think both teams have a good defense, and I think the Ravens defense will frustrate the kind of Washington offense. And I think the Ravens defense will frustrate the Washington offense. It's kind of like a good who do I think will come out? Who do I think has a better offense? Who do I think has a slightly better defense? Well, I think Washington has a slightly better defense and is going to hold Baltimore down. But I do think Baltimore has the slightly better offense. So I'm like, well, who can break free and kind of like get ahead? I think, well, if I think the defenses are that closely matched, I have to go with Baltimore because I do think they have like a way better offense. So I'll go with the Ravens in it. The football team's 1-1. Baltimore's 2-0. I don't know. And it depends on really how long the starters play. If Lamar plays the whole first half, this could be like a 20-13 type game. 7 o'clock, we have the Bears playing the Titans in Tennessee. This is one of the ones where I'm pretty sure they'll play for at least a quarter for both of the starters, or at least the first half for the Bears, and then it'll flip-flop to the other potential starter, because I don't think they've named the starter in Chicago yet, so we'll see. The Bears are 1-1. Titans are 2-0. Bears are coming off a pretty big beating. The Bears are 2.5-point favorites, so it must be assumed this Tennessee's playing backups, or at least going to play backups a significant portion of the game. I don't know. I feel like that doesn't really matter, and Tennessee's backups might come in and beat up on the Bears' backups, who looked really bad against the Bills. So hard to pick the Bears when they looked like that. That O-line is terrible in Chicago. All right, 8 o'clock. Let's see who plays. It's Cardinals versus Saints. I have the Saints winning. And they're 3-point favorites with an over-under of 34.5. Both teams are 1-1. It's in New Orleans. I have the Saints winning just because I feel like Jameis is going to play a good chunk of this game as a starter. And then we'll see the other guy in the other half of the game. So, I don't know. Jameis looked really good the other night on Monday Night Football against the Jaguars. He looked pretty competent. I think he was like 9 for 10 passing. So, with a couple really nice touchdown passes. So, I don't know. I think New Orleans has found their new starter. I think Jameis should be the guy, but it's still going to be a quarterback competition. So expect to see hard play out of both Jameis and Taysom Hill, leading to, I think, what we'll see is a New Orleans victory. Whether it comes like early on in the game from Jameis having like a wild performance, or later in the game with Taysom Hill kind of like running up the score against the backups. That's kind of the situation we're in with this game. Not that I think Arizona's a bad team. I think they'll be good this year, but It's just when you have a quarterback battle, it's kind of hard to beat a team like that. In my opinion, anyway. Saturday Night Football, let's see. I think it's it's the same time, so it's still 8 o'clock. This is depending on how long they play Brady and everybody. And I think it's going to be a quarter, kind of like how it seems like. I've seen a lot of teams say a quarter to a half. So, and I haven't seen on the Bucs side yet what they're doing. But either way, the Bucs starters will come out, and that's when I'm pretty sure Houston's going to sneak back and take the game. The Bucs are 4-point favorites with an over/under of 36.5. Tampa's 0-2. The Houston's 2-0. I like to pick and think a lot of like weirdly bad teams end up going undefeated in the preseason, like the Texans, potentially the Jets, potentially. I don't mean to say terrible, like, oh, I know they're going to be bad. Like, the potentially bad teams seem to do really well in the preseason because they're trying very hard. They're trying guys out at positions. There's a lot of open competitions for guys. If they can steal a job on a team like the Texans, the Jets, like et cetera, et cetera. The Lions are a good example of a team like that usually as well. So that's why I like the Houston to win this game. I think they're going to come back hard at the end. I think it's going to be hard. I think if Brady and them play, they'll score all their points like in the first quarter or the first half, all 17, and then probably just stop scoring, and that'll be how they lose. Something like that. And then Houston just slowly crawls back into it. All right, 9:05. Already seen who it was. So it's the Denver Broncos playing host to the Los Angeles Rams. The Broncos are 8.5-point favorites with an over/under of 34. Regardless of how long the Rams play their starters, whether it's a quarter, if they even play at all, I don't think they, like I've said all of these videos, they don't seem to care about the preseason, like even a little bit. And Denver has looked really sharp this preseason, so I feel like whether it's the starters or when the backup guy comes in, whether it's that's weird to say because they're another team in an open battle, I feel like, with Bridgewater and Locke, and it's kind of like a quiet battle that's no one's really talking about. But I don't know. I've looked at the numbers. If I was the coach, I'd be like, well, who the hell do I play first? So we could potentially see who becomes the starter in this game, and that's why I'm thinking the Denver wins. They're going to be going full throttle in this game, whereas as soon as the starters leave for the Rams, they're done, and that could be after a quarter. So you know what I mean. So if they even play, I have no idea with the Rams. They're hard to predict. Final Saturday night game, I believe it is the Los Angeles Chargers playing the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle. The Seahawks are 5.5-point favorites with an over/under of 35.5. I actually have the Chargers winning in this one. Again, while I think if Seattle plays their starters for the first half to quarter, that's when they'll score most of their points. I think the Chargers then can come back late. I think the Chargers hang in the game early. I don't know. I don't know if the Seahawks defense is like gonna be able to contain the Chargers' potential offense this year. But I mean, if the Chargers don't play their starters, I think they've still been pretty competitive, like with the guys they've been putting out there. They're 1-1. I don't know. I feel like this game is going to be good to watch, though. It's going to be a fun game. But at least the Chargers should consider playing Herbert or somebody at least. I don't know. If not, I still like this pick. I still like the Chargers over the Seahawks. Even with the assumption the Chargers might sit everybody still. I don't know. I don't know how long the Seattle's going to play their team either. I don't know if Russ has played at all this preseason. So if he did, maybe a little bit in the last one, All right. So those are my Saturday picks. I went 14-2 last week, so I might know something. All right, a few more picks left here on Sunday afternoon. These are the rest of them. Let's see. We got the Jaguars playing the Cowboys. Somebody's got to win, right? The Jaguars are 0-2. Cowboys are 0-3. Jaguars are 3-point favorites with an over/under at 36.5. I'm going to take the Jaguars as well. It's starters when they come in, and it just depends. Half, quarter. Cowboys could score 20 points in the first quarter on the Jaguars and just stop scoring when Dak and company leave if Dak plays in this game. I don't really know if he's going to. If he doesn't, well, then it becomes more in favor of the Jaguars off the rip. So give me the Jaguars in this one. Pretty simple. It's nothing against the Cowboys. It's just their non-starters don't look very good. Oh, shit. 4 o'clock, we have the Dolphins playing the Bengals. 1-1, 1-1. First half, I'm assuming with the Dolphins, depending because it is Flores. So, they're going to probably play both teams that are going to play the first half of this game. And if that's the case, then Dolphins -1.5, over under 30 and a half, 5.5. That sounds like a kind of line where it's like they think both teams will play the first half, and then in the second half, Cincinnati's going to come back really hard late. It's kind of how it feels. Or people just are going, holy shit, why would they have the? I don't know. That feels kind of like a small line. You know what I mean, for Dolphins and Bengals. If it was like a full game, yeah, you just pick the Dolphins blindly. It would be way higher, but especially the Dolphins, don't play their guys the whole game. Let's go on to the next one. 49ers play the Raiders. 49ers are 3.5-point favorites, over under 34.5. The Raiders have been tricky to figure out for people this offseason. They're 2-0. They've played pretty good football. 49ers are 1-1. Same reason for a couple other teams. I think this is a kind of a quarterback battle, where if Lance plays extraordinarily well or very well, he could potentially steal the job if Jimmy plays poorly. So, look for this game to kind of be like San Francisco's running two first halves, kind of with the two first halves with their quarterbacks. Let's like who's the guy, I guess, in San Francisco, kind of like for a couple other teams. A couple other battles could be wrapping up for San Francisco. So watch them to be a little bit more competitive in this one than the Raiders. 6 o'clock, I believe this is the Patriots and the Giants. Yep. Patriots -3, over under 35.5. I think the Giants have said, and so is the Patriots, they're both going to play their starters for at least the first half. If the Patriots, maybe only a quarter, but at least the first half for the Giants, including Daniel Jones and company. So this will be a pretty good game. I don't know, because I haven't really seen the Giants starters, so I don't really know what their starting offense looks like, so I can't really make a comment. But I've seen my team starting defense. They've looked good so far. They've looked solid. Additions made in the offseason. We'll see everything kind of put together. Gilmore won't be available. I'm assuming not, because of the quad injury right now. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like even if in the second half of the game, I don't know if the Giants will be able to contend with the second string offense and Mac Jones and company. So yeah, give me the Patriots 20-10. This could be a second half game. It could be 10-10 at the half, and then Matt comes out and scores 10 more. So that's kind of maybe how I think it actually goes, kind of. And then Patriots are 3 points with an over-under at 35. Last game of the week, 8 o'clock. We don't pick the Falcons around here. They're a garbage team with a garbage owner, so sucks to be them. I think the Browns win the game, especially if they're playing their guys the first half, which I'm assuming they're going to. If not the first quarter, then they'll just dominate them. I don't know. I don't pick the Falcons, so I'm sorry. I just, they kind of stink. And there's my picks for the week. They're not bad. I'm expecting to do so bad this week. I don't know what it is, but hey, I've been doing pretty good this offseason, despite feeling like, oh man, those are not good. But yeah, like I said, week 1 will come the following Tuesday, not on the 7th, basically. So that's when week 1 will come out. I might put it out on the Monday just to have it put out early. So yeah, that's week 3 of the preseason down the drain. We'll be watching the game. A game at least maybe Sunday. I'm hoping I'll be back home, because I'm going to have to miss Friday, Saturday games, because I'm going out of town for my grandpa's 80th birthday. So I'm going to be back home Sunday evening. Hopefully for the Patriots game, we'll see. But yeah, if you enjoyed the picks video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Leave your picks down below. I'll be sure to get back to you as soon as I can. Pretty cool to always get people's picks if you want to do that. I know it's the preseason, so. But in the regular season, I'd comment back, you comment back, we keep track of our picks, yada, yada, yada. It's a good time. That's why it's a pick'em video, so that's kind of how those go. So, oh yeah, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Yeah, a couple weeks away. Yeah, I can't wait. Just leave your thoughts down below. Whatever you think. It could be even negative about the picks. I don't really care. But yeah, leave a like, subscribe, all that YouTube stuff. And I appreciate you watching. I appreciate all the new subscribers. And yeah, NFL season is right here. Finally done. Can't wait for it to happen. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. I'm pretty stoked for the start of the season. Let's go. All right, bye-bye.